What's going on, y'all? Can Jones back with another I Technically Can tutorial. And today I'm going to put y'all up on game about creating your own custom GPT. That's right, your own custom GPT. With that GPT, you can set it up to do whatever you want it to do in terms of task and sound whatever you want it to sound like. If you need a version of you, that's doable. If you want it to sound like your favorite speaker, one of your favorite artists, whatever it may be, if you just want it to sound like you popping your shh, then that can be done. And I'm gonna show you how. Let's get into it. So at ChatGPT, what you're gonna need to do is navigate here on this left side panel, click on this Explore GPTs. That's going to bring up the GPT window, and this point right here, this is where you can spend time searching out GPTs that have been created for all kind of various needs. I won't get into all that because, again, we are here to create our own GPT. So with that, you're going to see this create button here in the upper right corner. You're going to go ahead and click create. So what is a custom GPT? It's basically a remix of ChatGPT that's personalized. It's built to your specs. Give it some direction, give it a little guidance, a few documents, and voila. You got your own GPT. It's basically like a personal assistant. Now to build this, you really only need three things. Uno, dos, tres. One, you need a ChatGPT Plus account. Yes, that means the paid version. $20 a month. But if you're trying to use this to weave into your workflow, it's for surely worth that 20. Number two, you need an idea. What is the purpose of this GPT? So you need to have that dialed. The third thing you're going to need, a few examples, documents of writing samples. You don't need a whole text setup. You just need to know what you want it to do and how you want it to do it. So now we're going to get into the build process. Walking through this wizard is going to be simple. First up, you got to give it a name. I tend to stick with names that start with my name and then what it does, followed by assistant. You can call it the AI homie, the talk to me nice bot, whatever you want. Give it a name. Then you give it a description. This is just a description of what this assistant does for me. So here, helps curate standardized YouTube descriptions for video transcripts. Then you get into the instruction sections. You want to give it the custom instructions. This is where you say stuff like respond in this type of tone, use my name, prioritize clarity. Just talk to it like you're coaching somebody on how to deal with a specific situation, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're telling this GPT exactly what you need it to do. So again, think of it like the homie. You're trying to guide him or her through this moment. Give it the game on how to do that. You then can jump into this conversation starters pack. And that's going to be what you see over here on the right with the question that first gets going. You could have it ask you a question. You say, what are we writing about today? Or, who back we kicking in now? But whatever you want to do to have that conversation starter, you can customize that. Now, this part right here, the knowledge portion, this is where the magic happens. This is where you get into giving it data that allows it to learn how you talk, how you write, how you speak. You want to upload a doc if you have one. You can see here I've got Can's voice transcript, and what I did was take some of the recordings I've done, interviews, went and grabbed a bunch of my social media statuses, put that into a doc, uploaded it here, and that allowed it to understand how I talk. So when I say write this in my voice, it's able to pull from some actual data. If you don't have recordings, you don't have podcasts that you've been on or videos, what you can do is interview yourself, do Q&A, and answer those questions exactly how you would if you were talking to somebody in person. Just give it some understanding of how it is that you communicate. And that's if you want this to sound like you. Now, if you want this to sound like Beyonce, if you want this to sound like Snoop, if you want this to sound like Lil Take, hey, go grab some of the audio, get a transcript from it, pump that in. If you've got a brand voice, you can put your brand guidelines and all that information into it, and it will pull from that when it is generating your responses. So again, just think about what the purpose of your GPT is, and based on that, pull files, documentation, whatever can help this understand the tone, the feel, the vibrations, and it's going to do a great job. Once everything is input, nice, simple, you go ahead here, you would have a publish button. I've got an update. Now you can choose a few things when it comes to working with these custom GPTs. Mine are set private because I just use them for myself. You can put them on the marketplace for other people to grab them, or you can create them and then send a link out so that other people can use them. And like, for instance, when I made this one is specifically about the format of my YouTube description. So when I create these videos, I don't want to have to think about how I formatted everything the previous time. So although I'm using my own thoughts and ideas, I still want there to be a consistent format, and little things like that just help speed up my process and my flow. So this, I pop in my transcript, it pulls from my transcript exactly what I've instructed it to, puts it in this whole sequence, including the timestamps and all that, so I don't have to worry. Then I go ahead, make whatever little adjustments, because usually you still need to make adjustments whenever you're working with this stuff. It don't be batting 100 out of 100, or batting 1,000. That's what I meant to say. So one of the things that I like to do is make sure that my GPTs are pinned over here in this sidebar. So to do that, you just click on whatever the GPT that you've created you want to use. Then you come up here to the top left, and then you can go ahead. Mine, of course, is already in the sidebar, but you would choose keep in sidebar. And that way it's just easy to access as you're working on your different projects. Now, I know I just showed you that joint that I did for my YouTube description. There's a lot of use cases. You can have this as a personal writing assistant, have this as a grant application formatter. You can have a SWOT analysis GPT, or just something to help you brainstorm as you're working through some of your projects. It's basically like cloning yourself, but not in like the weird science fiction type of way, just a more productive way, because, you know, work smarter, not harder. Hey, look, the tools is out there. If you know your voice matters and you want to make sure that that's incorporated into the work that you are doing with AI, no better way than creating a custom GPT. AI is the chef, but you own that recipe. You bring the flavor. Now, if you do end up creating one of these custom GPTs, share it with me. Let me know what you got going. You don't have to give me the link if it's private, but if you want to, you know, see if I like it or if it's useful, you think it may be useful, share it out. Let's go ahead and start spreading these tools around as we getting familiar with this stuff. You know, that's what I'm here to do. And if you happen to be curious about that YouTube description assistant that I created, I can go ahead and make that public and send a link your way too. Just let me know, comment, respond, whatever. Let me know what your thoughts is. And with that said, keep creating. Work smarter, not harder. But add your flavor to everything that's created with AI. Don't let it take over your personality. You are the brand. With that said, I'm up out of there. Oh yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, save. All the things.